Welcome back to the channel, and I'm going to do a modification to my Redcat Ascent. I have the OG version of the Redcat, but I did upgrade the motor to the Hobbywing Fusion SE 1800, so stay tuned. As we all know that the Hobbywing Fusion is the heaviest part of the electronics. My plan is to take that weight up high and put it down on the skid with a new transmission. Now this transmission is a deluxe portal transmission, but it's a clone. Commonly found on AliExpress for between $20 and $50. Now this transmission doesn't have any under or overdrive, so we're going to leave the reduction to trio for the front ring and pinion. This transmission is advertised as having a slipper, but the first thing comes to mind is a slipper clutch. What they actually mean, there's a small aluminum plate where you can slide the transmission left to right in your chassis. It also has a small carbon fiber spacer, which we're going to be using later. Before putting the transmission into use, I want to open it up and check the quality control. The outer case and motor plate were fine, but the gears with the 6 holes drilled into it weren't clean, and I had to remove some burrs. While the gears were adequately lubricated, I did remove it and add my own grease to the gears and ball bearings. I cleaned up the motor plate, and here's our transmission mount. It does have some room to move around, but I found if you push it all the way to the driver's side like this, you can still mount your transmission and motor even with the largest pinion attached that this will allow. We are going to have to use this spacer here to get a little bit higher off the skid plate. I'm going to go in the shop and drill some holes. We're back here inside, and we got 3 out of the 4 holes drilled out and countersunk. I did make a mistake on one of the holes, so that's okay. 3 out of 4 isn't bad. And we're gonna start assembling the transmission. We have the transmission in this little plate. I need to flip it over because it's the holes are all set here. And then our slider, or what they call a slipper, goes right here. Put a little thread lock on these guys. And that's it. I'll mount it up. As you can see, let's turn it this way. You do have some room underneath of the skid plate, or between the skid plate and transmission, because the motor is slightly larger than the actual transmission, so it's going to hang down a tiny bit, as you see after we mount it. Here's the motor mounted, and I do have a few millimeters between the motor and the skid plate. When it came time to mount the trio ring and pinion, the pinion actually hit the inside lip of the axle housing and had to be ground away to prevent binding with the housing. Since the new transmission is a little bit thinner, I had to buy a new rear drive shaft from Jura. This one is 129 millimeters to 179. And in the front, I was a little bit short also, so I used the female half of the rear drive shaft in the front. Everything went together well, with the exception of the clearancing the overdrive gear set. At the time of the recording, I didn't have any extra 48 pitch pinions laying around, so I had to buy those and the rear drive shaft off of Amazon. The transmission, of course, it was AliExpress. And the trio overdrive gear set I got from RC Crawler Country. I'll leave a link in the description for the gear set. And altogether, it was about $80 for me. And in the next video, I'm going to take it out and see how it performs. So I hope you liked this, and thanks for watching.